Yo, 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 welcome, welcome. Hey everyone, it's me, Zikri Khalil, the one and only who does all the shows that really matters to everyone who's watching worldwide, whether you're in Malaysia, whether you're in Nepal or the United States of America. This is the show where, oops, there we go, let me get rid of the logo. This is where we talk everything of real issues, real people, figuring out how and why are they doing this, and why do they really matter, even though they don't really affect you right now or anytime in the future, but has its consequences. So, but as part of today's show, we want to talk about one of the biggest issues that's been growing sporadically, non-stop, it's like a rocket, and this is partly due to the pandemic of COVID-19, and we know what it's like in Malaysia and some parts of the world that's being hit hard when it comes to the rising of the mental health issues. But today we want to talk particularly with a special guest who's championing the realm of educating people to be more aware of mental health problems. All the way in the hearts of Nepal with us, we have the one and only Matrika Devkota. Welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Hello, namaste.
Namaste.
I'm
Namaste.
very good.
Oh man, it's nice to see the way how you're smiling and you are addressing. What is your secret in this story time?
Oh, the thing is, I have got a smile back from thousands of people and who were abandoned, lost, and of the hope, restoring the life, resurrection. And that's the work I'm doing for the last 2 decades. So this is smile is I'm getting this smile back from many people, thousands of people whose life has been transformed.
MashaAllah. I mean, just hearing you talk, I can literally sense the smiling power that you are exerting from my screen. So thank you so much for that. I don't know, I can't even explain it. You know, it's amazing. It's not because there's this halo up here, but it's more of it's coming from you, definitely, for sure. And again, Matrika, I really thank you for being with us, all the way there in Nepal. I wanted to actually share more with our audience about what is it like, being above 1,000 meters above sea level in the mountainous part of Nepal, who are not just going through COVID, but with your expertise and your experience of manhandling human handling the issue of the rise of mental illnesses that's over there. We can only relate to what's happening in cities like Malaysia or some other parts of developed countries. But how is it different in a place like in Nepal?
Thank you, Zikri, and thank you for sharing the real, what's happened in my life. So I was roughly 15 years old, young boy, and suddenly something happened in my life. I started felt slow and low mood. Then it's continued, and in the age of 19, from age of 15, then I was fully stripped from my life. I didn't have physical and mental energy. So I retired from life at the age of 19. Then I came back to live with my parents after, rather than going to university. And then I lived my house for with my parents for roughly 8 years. Later, I got therapy and support, mental health treatment support. And then I was able to revive because I got the support. And then I used to think that why that happened to me. And I used to blame that I'm the most unlucky person. But while I was able to overcome from this distress, psychological distress, I realized that there are like globally in four people, among four people, one person having this issue in lifetime. And I realized this, that I learned from that my personal experience that how big pain is having the mental health issues and not getting any support, and how is it, and even going through the suicide attempt I survived. And then I realized that, oh, that's empathy. That's the from real life experience. This is a university that I experienced. Then I realized that uh, I can do a lot, and I can talk about my life, what happened, and not just bad thing, but how I was able to overcome, what kind of bad kind of support and good support that I was able to overcome. Then I realized that I wanted to talk about my story, the story of everyone and human beings, like while talking about well-being, and less talking about the mental well-being compared to physical well-being. So when I realized to speaking of through my live experiences, and also two ways that I'm continuing is people can have like a physical health issue, there can be equally mental health issue, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy body, healthy mind. So this is the holistic well-being, promoting mental wellness, and also through my live experience perspective, I'm embracing the people with the like same condition like I was. I'm able to help the people in dignified ways and through my live experience. And it's simple. So mental health problem is no so much complicated like the stigma and barrier there. So I'm so lucky person in the globe that through my live experience, I'm using real experience for giving back hope to other people and breaking the silence. And we also have mental integrity together with
Mm,
physical integrity. So we
mm.
need a holistic well-being.
Absolutely. Again, the way you are explaining to me, of course, being a survivor yourself, I think there's a lot of wisdom coming from the experience that you went through, and definitely, it's not just brave of you to come out of your mold, but also to look for others who are many that could use a bit of guidance, a bit of dose of happiness through your actions. Hence the formation of your organization called Koshish. And again, just like you said, I think mental health issues it's still a stigma in lots of parts of Asian culture, as we all know it. Malaysia also has it. So does and some of the Asian countries in Southeast Asia, and for sure it's probably the same in most part of your region. Could you walk us through how is Koshish and yourself as an organization really helping, and what are the problems of mental issues that you face before COVID and during COVID?
The thing is, while I was able to overcome through the issue, and I started giving my every minutes and energies back to people, then I had never thought about starting organization, but needed to have legal identity. Then it started as a organization course in 2008, and the first organization that is established and running by people who have experience of mental health issue and coming out from travel. And still, even before the COVID, the problem is hard to understand how to make people understand. And because it is more related with mental health issue is from the society, it is psychosocial, because it's coming from the society's malfunctioning. For example, like the evidence says that 82% of Nepalese children are getting violence from their child, from their parent, for the child in upbringing. So, and also, well, they are in schools, bullying, and also, started from teaching system, education. It's not intentional, but because of the system. Um, and 50% of mental health issues start, like World Health Organization says, before the age of 14. So we are trying to promote about mental well-being, and still it is not mainstreaming issue in the government health system and beyond the health system. I'm very sad. One of the things like that in Nepal, suicide is the leading cause of the women death of the age 15 to 49. If this is the age that reproductive age and childbearing, and if mother died from suicide, and then you know men will marry within 6 months or within 1 month, culturally allowed, the children become orphan. So like we need to protect this mother, and like I'm able to support thousands, but millions need help. And also this kid, and we need to promote their well-being, and we need to reach the not just physical health, but mental, not also mental disease disorder, but mental wellness. So prevents, investing in the well-being and prevention of the children and the mother. And like according to all health organization, if we invest $1 in mental health, it will bring $5.
Yeah.
So I'm still, fighting, and like the health system should prioritize equally mental health as, like physical health, and also our social protection system, education system.
Mhm.
So we need to look in the health and beyond the health. So still, I feel a long way to go.
I think, I mean, you mentioned one of the key words there, which is systemic. I mean, this is a systemic, culturally been conditioned in that sense, which I think has affected on the decision making of the people in general, of on how they could address what is and what is not a mental health concern. And I think what you've just mentioned is, in many places, in many parts of conservative culture countries or regions, have the same perspective, I would say. A lot of people would say you should go to the witch doctor, or you should just go and pray to God, maybe because it's a spiritual thing and whatnot. You don't need therapy, and therapy, that's another thing. I think it's the same from what you're gonna go. You will share later on how therapy is being seen in a country like Nepal, because in the West, if you go to European Union or North America, it's quite common to seek therapy if you think you have a mental disorder or an issue mentally, I mean, what is it like? Is it non-existent, or is there a place where you can get therapy? What is it like there in Nepal?
So still, medical issues is growing,
Hmm.
and mental health issues, and it's not like a killing bacteria disease, and
Hmm.
it's the problem coming from the societies. And until unless we don't look that person as a holistic ways, the problem arising from family community. And so rather than treating that person, how can we enable promoting wellness, resilience, and working help the person to overcome this barrier. And so, like for example, I have a physical problem. I go to physiotherapy. When I have mind problem, I need psychotherapy. And like this mean, uh, when I have distress, where I can ventilate my feeling, many strains, feelings, and because of surrounding daily life, it's the matter of this is ventilating the distress so on time. So a talk where we can toss, where we can wherever you can believe. Like you don't have to go every problem to the doctor, but whenever we have distress, immediately where is the safest space that we can talk. And also there should be layer of services, maybe, and also services driven person center, because the we are so different person to person, and there need to be also mental health services that
Absolutely.
especially that what is important for that person. So we need to focus on recovery based individual center intervention, what is important for that person and what are the barrier hindering for that person. We help people, enable the person to go out from the barrier. And so rather than treating as a disease, or we need to find the root causes. Like if I can't sleep, and
Yeah.
what are the root causes providing me distress, rather than I'm sleeping tablet. So we need to look in quite a holistic perspective.
Of course, I couldn't agree more with you on this. It's definitely one of the most. It's the same thing. If you're gonna help a poor community, you don't give something what they don't need, right? It's the same SOP, I would say, the same standard basic procedure, which is to figure out the root cause of issues. So it's definitely one of the things that I feel that what you guys are, what Koshish is doing is already relatively one of the most advanced organizations in Nepal. I've heard stories about helping a lot of traffickers who are affected by that, and many other diasporas of societies that's being stigmatized by the public. And of course, it's amazing of what you have done with your team to rise for the occasion. And no one would have expected that in a country like Nepal, because, like I said, perspective of labeling of countries. When we think of Nepal, we think of the Himalayas, we think of the Sherpas who are helping us, and none of these things are not coming to existence because we're just not aware. And this is one of the great ways to understand how we're all somewhat deeply connected, right? Um, and I think my other question is more about for those who are watching, whether if you're from watching from Nepal or Malaysia or Europe, wherever you are, for people to deeply care more and take a much stronger understanding. Why would an issue like this in Nepal would really matter to someone who's not living in Nepal in the first place? How should we take into consideration to care more, even they're not directly connected, and how can we be more be understanding on this does actually matter for them?
Thank you very much. How can we promote more well-being masses in the entire population in dignified ways through the social medias, television, radios, that not just talking about the problem and talking about the awareness and the hope of wellness and like for example psychosocial support during this COVID and in disaster and other things. It's not luxuries, but it is necessities like food, drinking, water, shelter. We need to provide people therapies, counseling, social support, home visit, and also practical support for the abandoned people like who are shackling, locked up, and also for their basic need, and also the people who are severely traumatized. We also need to take care of them practically, their diet, food, exercise, and their care, and also for the problem. So we need to look in that all the ways that you know and also it's important that what you were doing and a drop make ocean. So rather than we shouldn't we value the every rupees or every dollar or every corner, like the Malaysian brand, like how can we, the it can make huge differences, like buying the services for the people who severely need, and also the psychotherapies and such kind of things, and also people who have already severely traumatized. These people need medication, shelter, and and buying the services and professional, like this holistic. And how can we, and it's we are human, and that what every one of people what we have, so other person also should have that basic things. And what we have, like if we have two pair of clothes, three pair of clothes, and for time being in emergency we can survive by one pair, we can share other pair. In that ways, let's not undervalue anything. Everything are so precious.
I could not agree more, and I thank you so much for exerting your compassion to all the viewers on how this really mattered to them. And I can also add on to that by saying, this whole COVID situation can only bring people closer and look more deeper in a microscope level to understand that our life is not just about making money and moving on with all the things that we are currently so used to with our routine like life, but it's also what lies deep in your mind, the state of mind. I mean, I can relate to you on a very much more, of course, not as traumatic in a way, but more about how we have people that we know, who's affected by the lose of jobs, from having to divorce, having to lose custody. I mean the incredible heaps of people who are driving themselves to on the wall itself is more about the fact that they're having income issues. The fact that the debts that they have on their burdens is just too much, and they're looking at taking their lives away. And in some countries, taking your own lives is a crime. So that makes it a double trouble in that sense. So, but for those who are watching, I really hope and I implore you to really look into, we already established that mental health is probably one of the probably the prioritized issue that we need to face, and we should not try to shy away and not give our hands up. And I think, like our commenter here by Izelan, who's thanking you, Matrika, for being such a role model and showing amazing effort. And we want to thank you for that. And one of the ways that we want to help you is trying to also help with one of your projects. And I'm going to share a link right here where you're able to see for those who want to contribute more with one of the projects by Koshish. It's down on this link right here. Just go there, understand the what are they doing, how are they curbing the issue, because what Matrika does really well as an organization by Koshish Nepal is to really prevent the number of potential suicides by mental health issues from Nepalese. And of course, prevention is the best cure. And I want to ask you again, Matrika, do you have any powerful wisdom or amazing words that you can share with our audience and viewers before we end the show?
Thank you. And I think that life is rich and poor, and the society has making big demarcation. So we are neither rich or poor in humanities. Let us l- look at equivalence, that everyone have to die. No one reach their wealth, and so it is our humanity that who we have, who doesn't have, is our whatever way that I'm giving, whatever I have, my 100%. We shouldn't just live for ourselves. We should live for other. If you give more, you will receive much more, and we should give to other whatever we have, and we will receive more and more. Like, I have got so much joys, and and happy back, and while giving happy to other people. Like, let's give more and get more.
Well, Matrika, thank you so much again for those few words. And again, we could not have been more than happy to have you here. So thank you so much for being here with us and with the audience. And that's the end of our show. For those who wanna again know more about our Koshish Nepal's work, feel free to find out at their website, koshishnepal.org, and you can also directly get in touch with Matrika through their website as well. And if you feel like you want to help out with one of the projects, go to the website on incitement.com, because we do have the platform to help organizations like Koshish Nepal. Again, thank you so much, Matrika Devkota, for being with us, and I only wish you a safe journey. Have an amazing, productive year somehow in this insane pandemic, and we shall be in touch again.
Thank you so much for providing me platform to share my real stories and real what happening.
It is my pleasure. We'll be in touch again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.